In today's video, I am so excited to share with all of you 10 exceptionally healthy snacks that we're going to throw together in my kitchen. Hi there, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica, and here on my channel, we focus on all things mom life. However, everything we do in my space does have a bit of a healthy twist, as I'm a holistic nutritionist and a nutritional practitioner. So I don't know about you guys, but 2020 has been the year of snacks in my family. We were home, we were quarantined, we were social distancing for a very long time. And with that, I felt like the more time we spent at home, the more my kids craved snacks and asked for snacks. So that's why I decided to put this video together for you to show you how easy it truly is to throw together nourishing and healthy snacks in your kitchen. And to be honest with you, many of these snacks can be a substitution for breakfast and even lunch. And now that my kids are back in school, I am making these snacks more frequently to add into their lunch boxes. So I'm so excited to have you guys here, and let me know in the comment section down below which of these recipes you're most excited to try. The first snack up we have is sun butter stuffed raspberries with a few chocolate chips or raw cacao nibs. I like to put this in my kids' lunchbox almost daily, and likewise, I love to serve this one alongside dinner. It's that perfect after dinner dessert, but it's still full of nutrition. So I just like to take a few raspberries and stuff them with some sun butter and add either those cacao nibs or chocolate chips on the top. And this is a really good one to serve at that 10:30 a.m. in between breakfast and lunch, or likewise as a great after school snack. But your kids will love this one, and as you can see here, it's a cinch to throw together. Next up, we're making some animal cakes. These ones are loved by my children and anybody that we have come over for a play date or for lunch. I like to serve this one because the kids think it's cute, and honestly, it's super stress-free for me to put together. I will just make different animal faces on a rice cake. I'm just using an unsweetened brown rice cake from Whole Foods, and I'm slicing up some apples and some banana. Likewise, I like to use some pears, mangoes, you name it. I mix it up with different fruits and even vegetables, but today we are doing a fruit version, and with that I'll add some raisins. Also, many times I'll add goji berries or whatever dried fruit I have on hand, and I just simply make cute little animal faces. I like to do this with carrots and cucumbers, and you can swap it out with a little bit of guacamole to make it savory. My kids really love that one as well. But these are super filling, and one of my favorite after school snacks if I'm not making a smoothie for my son when he comes home from kindergarten, because it does have that fat, that protein, and that carb to it. It's great for that 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon when he comes home hungry, but we're not quite ready to get dinner going yet. So like I mentioned, we also like to make these frequently with guacamole and likewise with hummus. And then in that case, I will just add vegetables instead of the fruit to make the faces. And either way that I make them, they're always a huge hit. I'm telling you guys, presentation is key. If you haven't had a chance to check out my new Superpower placemat, I will link that for you in the description box down below, but I go into great detail and explanation from a clinical perspective as to why presentation and empowerment is key with kids in order to get them to try new foods. So as you can see here, I'm making up our next snack, and that is hard-boiled eggs. To me, pasture-raised eggs are a superfood without a doubt, and I love to have hard-boiled eggs on hand in the refrigerator, whether it's for a quick snack to serve alongside lunch, breakfast, and even dinner. It is a wonderful side to have on hand, and it's a quick, nutrient-dense treat. Speaking of treats, that's exactly what we're putting together here. We're making some baked apples that we serve alongside some yogurt with flax seeds, hemp seeds, and honey. So my children love to eat yogurt with flax seeds and hemp seeds and honey. It's honestly one of their favorite snacks in the entire world. And when I really want to treat them, I elevate it with some baked apples glazed with honey and cinnamon, and they devour this snack. You can either use dairy yogurt or coconut yogurt or any yogurt alternative that you would like. All in any of those would work. And then once you bake the apples until they're just a little bit tender, I like to pull them out, let them cool for a minute or two, and top them on the yogurt, and your kids will love this snack. Next up, we have a savory snack that quite honestly I make for breakfast, and I will double the batch so that I can save it and reheat it in the toaster oven for that 3 o'clock or 10 a.m. time when I notice my kids are getting a little bit hungry. So we are making veggie stuffed frittata waffles. I'm not sure about you guys, but I use my waffle maker at a minimum 5 to 6 days a week. It is just such a breeze to cook in, and I feel like when I put things in the waffle maker, my kids are more prone to eat it. It's something to do with the texture and the shape. I'm not quite sure what it is about the waffle maker, but it is truly magic. So we're blending up some orange and some red pepper, likewise some carrots and a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and then we're going to add in all of our spices and our eggs. Then I realized I did have some savory turkey sausages from Applegate Farms that I had already made earlier in the day in the refrigerator. So I'm just finally chopping these up to add into the frittatas. That way you get a little bit of that savory, spicy turkey throughout the mixture. Likewise, I've done this with ham. I do it with turkey bacon. I add in whatever meat or protein that we have on hand, or I just go without and I just do the eggs and the vegetables. Both are delicious, but because I did have these on hand, I wanted to bulk it up just a little bit. So once you've thoroughly combined the eggs and the vegetable mixture, I am adding in 2 tablespoons of chickpea flour. Chickpea flour to me is such a wonderful bind, especially with making a recipe like this, because it is a heartier flour and it does tend to have a bit more of a savory taste. However, I do use chickpea flour in all of my sweet recipes as well, but I do find that it adds a beautiful taste to this one as well. If you do not have chickpea flour, you could simply substitute these 2 tablespoons with brown rice flour or almond meal or even just a whole wheat flour, whatever you have on hand, but preferably it would be a heartier texture like chickpea or brown rice. Then I'm just going to spray the waffle maker with a little bit of avocado oil, add in this mix and cook it for about 4 minutes, flip it over and additionally for 2 more minutes. Next up is one of those snacks that is as simple as it can quite possibly be, and that's just a crudité plate, which is mixed vegetables. Today we have Asian radish, some petite Persian cucumbers, and baby carrots. I'm just finely slicing these up just because it's easier for my daughter who's 2.5 to pick them up. And likewise, I find that when the vegetables are smaller and easier to pick up, the kids are more likely to grab more of them. So I'm going to chop them up finely. I'm going to add them onto the plate and scatter them about. And then I'm going to be adding some of our favorite hummus and salsa to 2 dishes. Honestly, I feel like raw vegetables with dips don't get as much credit as they deserve. My children love to dip their foods, and so whenever I put out raw vegetables with some form of dip, they are more likely to eat the vegetables than if I were to just put them out in front of them without something to dip them in. And I highly encourage you to give that a try. Salsa is a great one to start with, especially if your kids are used to eating chips and salsa. You could do the siete chips, a couple of those on the plate, just for a little exposure. You could then add the crunchy carrots. You could add jicama, which really doesn't have a very strong taste, something a little bit more savory like the radishes or any of their favorite vegetables like a broccoli is always an easy one to get into them, and put it on a plate and put it in front of them, and you would be shocked after school how much they actually eat of the raw vegetables when they're hungry and it's in front of them presented nicely with something to dip it in. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, then you've already seen this recipe, and this is the carrot apple snowflake waffles. And excuse the smiling throughout these next couple clips because I was filming an Instagram reel at the exact same time I was filming this for you guys in today's snack video. So what we're doing is we're blending together some carrots, some apples, and some eggs all together in the blender with a little bit of oil and water. We're going to mix that together with our delicious flours to make these extremely nutrient dense waffles. I love to make a double or even triple batch of these and freeze them because they are such a great staple to have. Likewise, if we ever run out of bread, I like to use them with a little bit of sun butter and jam to serve to the kids for a snack or something to put inside of their lunchbox. And for all of the recipes that I'm sharing with you guys today, be sure to open up that description box down below and you can get all of the instructions and assembly and ingredient measurements so that you can recreate these at home. Likewise, I know I've mentioned this a few times, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, I would love it if you would come over and follow me there. I'm on there every single day on my stories, sharing nutrition facts and any hacks that I'm doing in the moment. And likewise, I film a lot of fun Instagram reels with tons of recipes and nutrition ideas. And now moving on to a basil seed pudding. I'm sure all of you have heard of chia pudding at this point, but I've been obsessed with basil seeds for roughly the last year, definitely all of 2020 and a little bit into 2019. When I discovered basil seeds, my mind was blown because they have twice the fiber, iron, potassium, and calcium of chia seeds. And not to mention that they are a wonderful source of vitamin K. They're great at regulating digestion. They flush out toxins. They decrease acidity in the body. Likewise, the swelling increases satiation and encourages you to eat less, however, drink more. They also increase oxygen and the capacity to carry oxygen through the blood flow. So I adore basil seeds. However, if you do have chia seeds, they can absolutely work as well in this recipe. So I've just blended together a little bit of fruit that I had thawed that was frozen from a mixed blend because we're trying to keep it super simple and easy. I did that in the food processor, mixed it with some coconut milk, and then I'll let that sit for a few hours in the fridge. Once it's had a chance to set, another great thing about basil seeds, they only take 1 or 2 hours. I like to scoop it into a bowl and serve it with some fresh fruit on top. Likewise, sprinkle on some hemp seeds or flax seeds, whatever your children love. And this is such a filling snack and also a great lunchbox staple. Right up there with the sun butter stuffed raspberries. This one is easy as it gets, and that's sun butter stuffed dates with a little bit of hemp seeds. This is one of my favorite snacks, that's for sure, and definitely one that my kids adore. You guys, these things are so simple and so easy, yet they are so delicious, and your kids will have no idea how healthy they are for them, especially when we're talking potassium, fiber, and healthy fats, not to mention healthy omegas. These things balance our blood sugar, but also give us a nice boost of energy. So I love to serve this one right around that 3 p.m. or as an after school snack, and definitely one that I include in their lunch boxes. And here's the thing, your kids may take some time to get used to these snacks because they look a little bit different. But again, if you try that superpower placemat that I have created, once they walk through the steps and the senses, and then they begin to taste these foods, they will adore them. And once their taste buds adjust, you will be shocked with how much they crave and yearn for this nutritionally rich food. Now we're taking those waffles that we made last night. I've tossed them in the toaster oven. As you can see here, I should have toasted them for a little bit longer because they were still cold. And when you use coconut or MCT oil, it is important to fully let things toast because it does harden. But what we're doing is we're making a little sun butter and honey sandwich with flax seeds. And my kids love this. So I've just taken one waffle and I'm going to be putting that together with a little bit of sun butter, honey, and flax seeds. And then I'm actually going to be cutting this waffle in half. So each of them would have half alongside some mixed vegetables and fruit on their plate. And to be honest with you, this is practically a lunch and definitely a filling snack. And now moving on to my favorite, and I guess we always do save the best for last, favorite snack of the video and one that I make on a weekly basis. And these are my savory flaxseed crackers. So if you do follow me on Instagram, then you hear me talk about flackers frequently and how I devoured them when I was pregnant with both my son and my daughter. But I am always craving high fiber foods, and the flackers that you buy at the grocery store, whether it's Whole Foods, a natural grocery store, or even on Thrive, they're like $4 to $6 a pack, and you don't get very many in there. So what I do is I take ground flax seeds and I make my own version. And as you can see here, I'm really souping them up by adding those Zen basil seeds. So any recipe that I make, I really like to elevate it. So I'm adding that along with some nutritional yeast and some warm water. I'm going to mix this together and I'm going to cover it and put it in the refrigerator for about 2 to 4 hours to let the water fully absorb, because we are using ground flax seeds. And I actually don't have a dehydrator, which is surprising because I am a holistic nutritionist. That's something that you think I would have as an appliance in my kitchen, but I don't. However, the way I like to bake these is on a really low heat at 275, and I just put them in the oven for a full hour to an hour and 20 minutes, depending on how much water the flax seeds have absorbed. You'll know because they will break apart like an actual cracker. These things are delicious. My kids love them. We love to dip them in hummus, into salsa. To be honest with you, we dip them into tahini. Anything you can think of, we dip them in. Also, I like to put a little bit of guacamole or avocado on them and put some smoked salmon, and it is the most delicious snack. So these are such an incredible staple. And about a month ago, I realized I've never shared them on YouTube or on Instagram, and I pretty much make them on a weekly basis. You guys, if this isn't a look for less of the flackers, then I don't know what is. As you can see, they are definitely done. These ones ended up taking an hour and 10 minutes, and they will break apart into little delicious crackers for you. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and if you liked this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would give it a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click, that way you don't miss a single video, and I hope to see you back here next Thursday.